GC here, and we are back with a first impression of Daredevil Season 1, Episode 1. Off Netflix, created by Drew Goddard, the director of Cabin in the Woods, and Charlie Cox is Daredevil. You might remember him from Stardust or Boardwalk Empire. And everyone else for the cast, check down below. So, as a first episode, I didn't know what to expect. I seen stuff online. The imagery is dark and foreboding, and it's just dark. Like literally, it's very dark in this film. Literally, it's very dark for a first episode. And from what I read online, they're really going, really dark here in terms of actual lighting. So, I didn't know what to expect. Netflix has put the 13 episodes up online for themselves already for everyone to watch, and wow. So, how did I feel? As an origin, I'm very glad that they skipped over the whole being blind thing really quickly, and I swear they're probably going to do that in flashbacks, which is just great. It follows the whole Arrow formula, as in what happened on the island, and I don't have anything to say about that. I'm glad that happened. You slowly learn more about him as a child, you slowly learn more about his dad, and just the whole between normal kid to Daredevil, what happened in those years in flashbacks, that's totally fine, and it grows and grows and grows. Foggy Nelson, played by Elden Henson, is just great. He really is playing the Foggy Nelson that I know from Mark Waid's run. I don't know how he is in Frank Miller's or any other run, but he is just fun. His foil and contrast to the seriousness of Matt Murdock is just great. Like, I swear Matt has jokes, really dry jokes, but it's like there. But Foggy is just like in your face, just fun. And I really love the dialogue scenes in this first episode. It's only the first episode, and I really am digging what they're doing. Because I feel that with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Gotham, they didn't really know what tone they were trying to go for, but here Daredevil has it in the bag on the first episode. And it's just great. And I would have to say I enjoyed this episode much more than the first episode of Agent Carter. I'm sorry, Agent Carter had to find a bit of room to wiggle, then it found its tone, but Daredevil got it in the bag. The one major issue I have with the first episode is the fight scenes. If you have seen the movie reviews I've been doing, a lot of action in Hollywood nowadays is just quick edits and blurs and just looks fast, but you don't feel like, come on, I don't feel you hitting the guy. Daredevil here does it well on some aspects, as in they somehow pull back and show the action, but there's still the quick edits and black. Everything is dark, so you don't really register what is really happening. And lastly, shaky cam. Shaky cam. Just, I hope the next 12 episodes lower down the shaky cam. Just shaky cam, just no, I don't need to be immersed by you shaking. Because I don't need it, because I can see the intensity and I'm immersed. I just want to focus on the fight styles. I mean, the fight styles was cool, but when you have the shakiness and the editing, it's just, takes it away. That's why I really enjoyed the rest of the episode where there was no fighting, as in, I love the dialogue. The chemistry, the tension, everyone is great. Sure, the bad guys somewhat feel kinda like forced acting at times, but I like the mood and atmosphere of the villains where they're so set up. This world is huge. Well, not really huge, it's just like, these are the villains. Now we have the lore guys, and the victims, and the cops. So now we have established things, so it doesn't feel super huge, even though Hell's Kitchen can be really huge. I don't know how they focus on the scale, but it was great that they did. I mean, the scale could be huge, but then again, what am I saying? I'm glad they have focal, clear-cut people out. And with the whole montage at the end of the episode, what they're about, and just how dark this Hell's Kitchen is gonna be. Now, there's the question of how involved is the rest of the Avengers or Marvel's cinematic universe, and I'm glad I read some interview online, as in, like, these Avengers are considered as gods here. We have brawlers, and this is what's happening. The street level heroes are street levels. Marvel Avengers exist in the world, but they're not going to show up, and I'm glad that. I don't need Avengers to show up. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is different because the actual organization worked with the Avengers, so it's kind of weird that there's nothing, especially with Coulson meeting them. I can't say much because I haven't seen season 2, but whatever. With Daredevil, I'm totally fine with them not ever mentioning anything about the rest of the world. I'm totally fine with Daredevil by itself, and yes, this is it. I'm very excited for this series. The costume design is interesting. Never saw the Frank Miller stuff, but it works. As in, like, I don't need a Daredevil costume right off the bat. I don't need him to be crazy. The one note is the whole echo vision, as in he hears things and it slows down. It's tad cheesy, but I don't know how else they could have done it, but it works. But I don't know if they're going to explain it. They probably will explain how his powers work or what enhancements he has, because not everyone knows who Daredevil is. So maybe they'll do a very side track story, as in, oh, this is what I can do, this is how I train. They show the boxing side of him, and there's other stuff, all his powers and all his gadgets and whatnot. But yes, I'm really digging the tone that they have for this. The focus is the characters and their chemistry and their relationships, and the dialogue is just fun. And the tone is dark, dark, dark. And it's intense, and it's justifiable dark. Like, seriously, I didn't feel that Arrow needed to go there. Though I watched like 2-3 episodes, I didn't feel the world fit well with Arrow. But here, it feels like they established the villains, the intensity of what they're going through fits with Daredevil's brutality, and it's all great and awesome. So there we have it. This is the first impression of Daredevil Season 1, Episode 1. I'm going to binge watch this and just come back with a final impression, hopefully sooner than later. But yeah, this was enjoyable. It was great. I was not disappointed whatsoever, which makes me even more excited for the other 3, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. What are they going to do with them? And I don't know anything about them, or I don't know much about Jessica Jones. Iron Fist, somewhat. Luke Cage, somewhat. So I'm excited, excited, excited. And with the Defenders thing, I am totally support. And if they somehow can tie it into, like, somehow a crazy Avengers movie, that would be intense. I just hope that they don't recast anybody like DC's doing with the whole Flash thing. That just sucks. They could totally do the crossover really well, but nope. Anyway, I am great and happy. Anyway, that is all for this first impression of Daredevil Season 1, Episode 1. Out.